with a whole lot of truth. Remedy Revolution is here for you. Ooh. And now here's your host, Erin Page.
Welcome to the Remedy Revolution. My name is Erin Page. Today's guest is somebody I'm really excited to introduce you to. But first, I want to tell you a little bit of a story. So, the last few days, I have been under the weather. And whenever I feel a little bit congested, a little bit, achy, one of the very first things I do is I turn on my sauna and I get in the sauna and I sit there, I meditate. And almost immediately, I start to feel a bit better. So that's what I did this morning. If you can hear it in my voice, I'm a little bit in my lower registers here today. That's what's going on for me. But today's wonderful expert is somebody who knows a whole lot about saunas. So I'm really excited to have Philip Wilson here from Relax Saunas. Philip, it is a pleasure to have you.
It's always fun. I love being interviewed. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Well, wonderful. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved with Relax Saunas?
Well, my history is I was sort of like a child prodigy in mathematics, not like way, way up there, but middle of the road child prodigy. I was, like Mr. Mathematics of my high school, of my grade school. I finished second, third, and fourth in the state of Indiana on national and statewide math exams. I was published in high school. um, Solving problems for a national high school magazine for mathematicians. I was in a summer program in mathematics at the University of Illinois between my junior and senior years. I went to Ohio State University in graduate school after getting an honors degree in mathematics in Indiana. And my brother had graduated from there, got his PhD in 3 years, and they expected me the another brilliant mathematician, but I had had an out of body experience before I graduated from Indiana, and I didn't know it, but my interest in mathematics, which was my whole life in a sense, was waning because I was exploring inner realms of health because of I got connected to this inner connection that I never had before, or at least wasn't aware of, but I'm very aware of this inner guidance that prods me in a
Hmm.
loving way. And so I remember my math advisor saying, Phil, you have to apply discipline. And that's when I realized the difference between discipline and self-force. Discipline is when you apply gentle pressure to get yourself to do something you really, really, really want to do. Self-force when you apply pressure, inner pressure, to get yourself to do something you don't want to do.
Right.
Now, I didn't know that. I thought I wanted to do it, but at that time I realized I didn't want to because instead of mathematical problem solving that I used to do, that I used to find great joy in getting those ecstatic moments, I'm having them in this inner awareness of understanding, like uncovering beliefs and then realizing that that belief has been controlling me. And as soon as you see that and you realize the belief's not valid, poof, you're free. And then I had a Kundalini awakening experience about a year and a half later in August of 81. I'm 71, 1971. And all of a sudden all my cells in my body were electrified and purified. And oh my gosh, I couldn't eat anything. I mean, I basically had to become almost a fruitarian. I was living on dates, figs, and cashews for about 9 months, about 80% of my diet. And I couldn't eat meat. I couldn't eat eggs. Couldn't eat cheese. It was all too heavy. And I was doing these Kundalini yoga exercises and meditating 6 hours every morning. It was a fun time. I was happy. Maybe I didn't look normal back then, but I sure was becoming more free. And so from that, I got into selling herbal vitamins. This is like, you didn't sell herbal vitamins way back in 1973, but I was. And in 76, after getting a degree, after not getting my master's, and my job that I had lined up to teach at a junior college didn't go through, I had to start selling. I couldn't get a job, and so I was making part-time money, and I jumped off and started selling herbal vitamins full time. In 1980, I started expanding a little bit, opened up an office that became a store, and I started selling rebounders and inversion machines and massage tools and massage sandals and I was very much into the Master Cleanser book by Stanley Burroughs, The Lemonade Diet.
Hmm.
And later on, and then I started selling to health food stores. And this is in 1980. I'm selling medicinal mushrooms in 1980, like reishi and shiitake and lion's mane and all those things. I'm selling
Hmm.
green powders in 84. I'm selling essential oils to health food stores in 1986. I'm selling chlorine dioxide, the MMS. I'm selling that in 88. And so I was like ahead of my times. In other words, I was one of the original biohackers before they had the name. And
Sure.
I learned about homeopathy. I learned about the Bach flower remedies and everything that was cutting edge, spirulina, chlorella, blue-green algae, all those kind of things. Massage tools, color therapy glasses, pinhole glasses, neti pots, tongue cleaners, magnets. Is like I was like a hodgepodge of what the health food stores craved, but the big boys, the big distributors couldn't didn't have time to promote. And so I was a UPS distributor at the time. There were
Hmm.
about 8 or 9 of them throughout the country that blossomed. And so in 2001, I was selling massage tools at conferences. I was going to the Whole Life Expo in 81, 82, 84, selling massage sandals and massage tools and supplements. So in 2001, I sold massage tools at a biological dentist conference in Las Vegas, which is where I now live, like 17 years later. And one of my massage tool suppliers had a sauna there, a portable sauna. And you know how a boy or a girl feels on Christmas morning? They're just so excited. Well, I mean, I couldn't believe you could have a sauna in your home. Like, a lot of people, like Karen Russell came to us in 2007, and she was chronically ill. She had heavy metal toxicity of both lead and mercury. Her health was kaput, and the doctors kept on saying, you need to get a sauna, you need to get a sauna. So this was at a medical conference, and Doris Rapp was there with a booth, and she had written the book Our Toxic World. And so Karen talked to her, and I'd known her for a couple of years, and she knew I had a good sauna. She said, "Go see Phil." She got our lie down sauna, and 2 months later, or she was corresponding with us, and her 30 months in a row, her blood reports came back way off the charts in mercury and lead. And in 1 month, her blood report came back normal for the first time. She
Wow.
gave us like a full page testimonial letter saying her skin was no longer dry. She looked radiant. She lost 67% of her cellulite, and on and on and on about she sleeps better. She's a gerontologist. She works with people who are getting old and helps them. And she said, "This is my favorite tool in my toolkit to help people get better." And she was our poster child for a while. And I have been to about 500 conferences personally, and my company had probably about 2,000 conferences in the last 23 years. And if you could be a fly on the wall listening to what people say after being in the relaxed sauna for 5 to 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, if
Hmm.
you could listen to what they said, you would buy a relaxed sauna in a heartbeat, even if you owned $30,000 wooden saunas. Because, all saunas are great, and you're a testament to this. If in any, even the Amazon saunas get rave reviews, because I've been doing the saunas personally for 23 years. I
Hmm.
bought that portable sauna, by the way, the other company, and I had it for a year, and I just totally loved it. I would take the little camping chair out. I would sit on the floor and had panels, and it would be like really amazing how much I loved it. It took me 18 minutes to start sweating. After 55 minutes, I had a great sweat, and I just loved it. And if people had asked me, I said, "Yeah," and I was selling them. I sold 6 that year. Well, then because I was so prolific, I mean, I started my massage tool business selling to health food stores, and we were selling to 1,100 health food stores, that and supplements in the 80s and the 90s. And then I put it out on a website, and I was selling $15,000 worth of massage tools in October of 98. And it was like, oh my gosh, you wake up in the morning and you look in your mailbox, there's all these checks. So we'd get orders, and I was probably selling more massage tools on the internet than anyone in that year. And so, at anyway, after I was very prolific when I put the sauna on, and so I got a call from Taiwan from the Relax Sauna company, and they in 2002 October, and they said our sauna is technologically more advanced. We spent 10 years finding a way to give you only the 7 to 14 micron frequency, which is far infrared ray. We are actually 100% far infrared ray, our sauna. It took us 10 years to get the near infrared out, which only penetrates 1/16th of an inch. The mid infrared is good for the muscles. The near infrared is good for the skin, but the far infrared, it's good for the skin, the muscles, the joints, the bones, and the core of the body. And the 7 to 14 micron is the only frequency, according to Dr. Yamaguchi, who's done a lot of research in Japan, that's the only frequency that vibrates the water molecules. And and
Okay,
that
so I want to dive a little bit more into that. So a lot of people will understand at a very simplistic level, the sweating, you're detoxing. When you get sweating, obviously that's a good thing because we're getting rid of toxicity and keeping everything moving, right? So most people, I think, understand sauna from that perspective. But tell me a little bit about what it is that the light is doing and why we have, you know, there's a lot of I think most people agree that every sauna is good for you. If you're sweating, that's going to be good for you. But there's a lot of questions about, why is this one better than that one? So I want to kind of dive a little bit more into that. So you were just telling us that the far infrared is the light that has the most benefits. So I'm assuming that that means the most bang for your buck. Is that correct?
absolutely, plus a lot more than that as well.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about the additional benefits that a far infrared sauna provides versus a full spectrum light sauna.
Good. That's excellent. Now, we sent a $1,400 portable sauna, a $250 Amazon sauna, and the Relax sauna, which sells for $1,700 online.
Hmm.
We sent those to Harvard MIT Science and Technology Lab, and they gave us a lab report saying that the Relax sauna, using a bolometer, the frequency that comes out of it is all between 7 and 14 microns. Now, 6 months earlier, we had sent the Relax sauna to Polytech University in LA, and they said for 60 minutes, it's between 7 and 14. And for a while, it was between 7 and 10. For a while, between 11 and 14. For it never gotten out of that range. Now, the $1,400 sauna, the range was from 1.2 to 6. The Amazon sauna 0.95 to 1.2. So the Amazon sauna was 100% near, and the full spectrum low EMF $1,400 sauna was only 8% far, 37% mid, and 55% near. Now, when I was selling light bulbs way back, after I read the John Ott book, who did the time lapse photography for Disney, and he wrote a book called Health and Light, talking about the dangers of fluorescent lighting because it was too red and not enough blue. And so the full spectrum light bulbs that anyone in sewing needs to use, so you can see the true color. That I've been using full spectrum light bulbs, which are white, not orange, uh, for years. That's
Hmm.
a good thing. But full spectrum saunas, that sounds like, wow, that sounds like the latest and cutting edge. But actually, it's a deficiency because they're admitting that they can't get full 100% far infrared ray. Now, the near has value. Like I said, it's good for the skin, but the far, and it penetrates 1/16th of an inch, but the far penetrates 2 inches, and it also does the skin. And everyone who gets in the relaxed sauna says their skin, I mean, I'm getting up in age, and people think that my skin looks good for a man of my age. And they tell me that a lot. But everyone who gets in, their skin looks beautiful, their voice gets more melodic. It's amazing the difference. And this doesn't happen in all the saunas, because I've never heard anyone tell me that their wooden sauna feels like they've been hugged by their loving grandma. They've never said, I feel like I'm basking in divine love. And that's because the near infrared and the mid infrared are considered to the body harsh, because they don't penetrate.
Hmm.
Because see, you, in other words, I want to try to not be technical with the numbers, okay? But so you are a far infrared light being. You're a spiritual light being, as Daniel Brinkley says, but you are a far infrared light being. You shine far infrared light. All humans do, all mammals and birds do. Snakes see far infrared light. So at night they can see the frogs and the toads and the mice and eat them, because they can see the light shining from them. So we all shine a light. Like, for example, if you all of a sudden haven't seen a cousin for a long time, and all of a sudden you're maybe 200 feet away from them, all of a sudden you light up and they light up. And that's what we say. We light up because and we all send off a frequency, and we all shine an invisible light that we cannot see with our eyes. And it's good, because it'd probably drive us crazy if we all it's like seeing car lights all the time. And water is a far infrared molecule, and water vibrates at 8 microns, humans at 9.4 microns. Okay. So um, if I shine a light at you between 7 and 14 microns, that light frequency is the same frequency as you, so you don't notice it's not you. Okay. So as a result of that, you it's absorbed into the body, and it penetrates very deeply. Now, near infrared is 0.76 to 2 microns. And that frequency is so far away from you that you definitely recognize it as not you.
Hmm.
So either unconsciously or consciously, you resist it. And the resistance is stressful and makes it sort of harsh. So if I give you the soft, loving light, that's different than the harsh light. And if I give you 100% soft light, that's going to feel a whole lot better, because you're not going to have any distractions. In other words, the far infrared light is that which you are, and so you can't see it's not you, and so that's why it's absorbed into the body, because you
Hmm.
don't resist it. And the yeah, you don't resist it, so it's soft and loving. And the other energies, they're not quite tuned in, so we resist. And the ultraviolet is so off from you that I say, tongue in cheek, that you resist it so much that causes friction, which can cause suntan and sunburn. Now, if you have a sunburn of pain 7 or 8, and you come to my booth and I tell you, get in the relaxed sauna, it will get rid of all of your pain. And you say, no, that's the last thing I think I would want to do, get into a place that's warm and almost hot. I said, no, get in, because Dr. Yamaguchi says that the far infrared between 7 and 14 microns antidotes not only EMF, the microwave EMF that comes from these cell phones, okay, but it antidotes sunburn, which is overexposure of ultraviolet light,
Hmm.
overexposure of microwave EMF. And so the far infrared is the ultimate healer, because what it does, it vibrates the water molecules. So the whole purpose of a far infrared sauna, of any far infrared sauna or any infrared sauna, the purpose is to vibrate your water molecules. That's the only thing that does. It sends off a frequency of light that's the same frequency as the water in your body, so it vibrates all the water molecules.
Okay, so my question then is, if that is the goal, is sweating even necessary?
Um, Sweating is a second level of it.
Okay.
Okay. And your question is excellent because, like for example, when I was a kid, I remember playing basketball for an hour and I was just streaming wet, my hair dripping from my neck. Now, if you have Lyme disease and you go out and play basketball for an hour and sweat like crazy, it's not going to really have a beneficial effect on getting rid of your symptoms of Lyme.
Hmm.
But so we in the Relax Sauna, because of our higher level of technology using computer technology or semiconductor chips, and remember when we had the COVID problems with cars,
Hmm.
couldn't get the semiconductor chips from Taiwan. Taiwan makes
Right.
84% of them. And it's like it's a program is put into the semiconductor chip. So we use 20 semiconductor chips in each of our two radiators, our double radiator. And those semiconductor chips take the electricity and filter out the near. It filters out the mid, and it only gives you the 7 to 14 micron frequency. Now they accidentally discovered this because their goal was to find a frequency of light that matched the what around hot springs, where the preponderance of the energy was something that was far infrared light, and that's why the hot springs you go to at Lourdes or in southern Japan, why they people get healed.
Hmm.
It's not just the negative ions, and that's also a helpful effect, but also because of the far infrared light that predominates. So we have, because the Relax Sauna takes 30 seconds to preheat. I don't know how long does your sauna take to preheat?
I usually walk out there and then, you know, come back inside and, fiddle around for a little bit and then go out maybe 15 minutes later. And it's usually pretty well heated. It depends. If it's very cold, in the middle of the winter or something, then it might take a little bit longer, but probably about 10 minutes
Yeah.
yeah, heated.
Well, the Relax Sauna takes 10 to 30 seconds to preheat.
Hmm.
And people are totally shocked on that. But because of this, we're very friendly, usable, user friendly at massage therapists' offices, at doctors' offices, chiropractors, anyone who does body work, but any doctor who does psychological, because it warms your heart and opens you up. And so we give 5 to 7 minute treatments
Hmm.
that are quite profound. And in 5 to 7 minutes, not only can you, in about a minute or two or three, feel like a warm blanket is over you, or you're being hugged by your loving grandma. You almost feel like you're basking in divine love. I call it a step down version of divine love. But that you experience. But not only that, in 5 to 7 minutes, I've hardly ever see a case where a person's pain is not reduced at least 50% and sometimes 100% in 5 to 7 minutes. And the anxiety and the depression and the things that you deal with, any kind of mental kind of. Now we have, if you go to our YouTube video site, if you go into YouTube and put in Relax Sauna testimonials, you will find at least 20 testimonial interview videos that I've done to people at conferences where their symptoms are hardly there at all after using the Relax Sauna for a year or for a couple months. One lady was with a Lyme literate doctor, and her husband was a naturopathic doctor. And after she was 75% normal, the doctor said, you need to get a sauna. So they got the Relax Sauna, and the man is a naturopathic doctor, gave me a testimony and said that within months she was 95% effective in everything she was doing. And we have many, many people whose lives have been radically changed to the better from using the Relax Sauna. One lady had a portable sauna that she'd been used for a year and a half, and she used it for an hour at a time, and she never had tingling in her fingers. She had Lyme disease, and she's in the Relax Sauna for 12 minutes, and she's got or 5 7 minutes, and she's got tingling in her fingers. He said, this has never happened before. So a lot of people, they think a sauna is a sauna is a sauna, but they're all different, just like a B supplement or a vitamin C supplement or a zinc supplement. Sometimes there's different kinds of vitamin C that are more effective, like there's liposomal vitamin C, and then you have just the ascorbic acid, and you have the, so and curcumin is the active ingredient turmeric, right?
Right.
So when you buy a turmeric formula, you look to see what percent is curcumin to see how effective it is. And you also look at how many grams it is and how many tablets are in the bottle and everything. Well, we give you 100% active ingredient. See, the active ingredient is 7 to 14 micron frequency, or sometimes 4 to 14 micron, because water's at 8 and the human body's at 9.4. And if you're really close to that, then you can you can it'll work. It'll vibrate. It'll vibrate the water molecules. Did you see how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one question that I've always had about the portable saunas. So, if you've not seen them, you can go ahead and go to relaxsaunas.com, and there's plenty of visuals there for you. But I'm curious, Phil. There on these relax saunas, I noticed that your head is often sticking out. Now, I can imagine that it's probably uncomfortable to stick your head inside because you'd be in the dark, probably.
Right,
But
right. So
but
actually, most people do, or not most people, but many, many do.
Sure. So that's my question. So, is there a reason that the head is out? Can you put your head inside the sauna, and is there any detriment to doing that? But obviously, you're saying most people can put their heads inside. So, tell me a little bit more about that. Why was the head just outside? Is that more just for convenience sake?
It's because most people, um, I'm trying to show you the sauna in the background without blurring it. There we go. See the sauna that I have there?
Yep.
See, I'll even demonstrate it right now. I'll show you.
That's awesome. So, for those of you who are listening to the audio, I'm going to kind of walk you through the play-by-play. But he has one of his relax saunas in the background, and we see Phil getting in and zipping up the sauna. It actually looks very easy to use.
Now, I mean, I'm 5'7", but even people who are 5'9", 6 foot, they can do this. And
Hmm. Got it. Yeah, so then it just kind of creates a little bit of a tent with the head inside of that the relax sauna there. And it does have some convenient armholes too, because that was another thing that I've noticed, obviously, to make it a little more convenient to turn off and on without having to unzip yourself every time. And so tell me a little bit about that, because I presume there's probably benefit to having the whole body in the far infrared. Would that be accurate?
well, there is, but surprisingly enough, if you have a neck pain,
Hmm.
even with your head out, because the blood is circulating throughout the body, and the blood gets into the head. And so, many people, some people find it inconvenient to duck their head, but you can even duck it and almost put it on your lap for a few minutes,
Hmm. Hmm.
comfortable. And I brought my friends along. Do you see?
Yes. Okay, so obviously these are portable saunas. You can how are they easy to take with you? I presume I'm not putting this in a carry-on bag.
They're
But
actually, you can.
wow, really?
It fits in a small carry-on bag. And I think you can see relaxsaunas.com/superior.
Hmm.
There's some literature pieces you can download or look at, and where we show how it fits in the bag very easily. It also, I have a Samsonite Omni 28-inch spinner, and the chair which is 20 and a half inches wide,
Hmm.
fits in, which comes with a sauna. That fits in that suitcase along with the radiator and the tent. The tent folds into about a 20-inch square or 20-inch
Wow.
circle. And so it's the only truly portable sauna that you can take on an airplane and not have to pay oversize.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so you don't have to pay $150 to take it on the plane. It's only $35 to take it on, or free if you fly Southwest, and you fly as many flights as I do.
So tell us a little bit about, obviously, if we're working on the water molecules, which of course, the human body is made up primarily of water, then I'm certain that just about anybody can benefit from sauna therapy. So, what are your recommendations for just the average person who may be questioning whether or not they need to have a sauna?
Well, there's a book by Rebecca Harder. She has a colon therapy clinic and a hyperbaric oxygen clinic in Portland and in Taos, New Mexico. And in her book, she says, if you want to feel fabulous in the 21st century, an infrared sauna, a far infrared sauna is an absolute necessity. See, back in the 1960s, when they started doing research into far infrared saunas, the toxins in the world were not that much. But now, with all the nefarious things they're doing, and even the non-nefarious things they're doing out of ignorance, there are so many toxins in this world that you can't go anywhere without being bombarded by toxins. So you need a strong immune system. And the way to have a strong immune system is to use a far infrared sauna regularly. It's almost like I shower every day, and I've been using the Relax Sauna now for 23 years, almost every morning. I use it
Hmm.
for 20 minutes every morning and have an incredible sweat.
Hmm.
Now, when we got the Relax Sauna and compared it to the Amazon sauna that I had, it was a night and day difference because it took me 18 minutes without the chair inside the sauna, 55 minutes for a full sweat, 18 minutes to start sweating in the Relax Sauna. It takes approximately 8 minutes for you to be sweating, 15 minutes and you're dripping, 20 minutes and you're drenched, or 22
Hmm.
minutes and you're totally drenched. And time is money, and a lot of people don't have time to do an hour every morning to get a
Right.
good sweat. And so that's a big difference. And another factor is I tell people the Relax Sauna is a $20,000 sauna. It's worth that much, just like MasterCard is priceless. The Relax Sauna, because it has the 100% Fahrenheit ray that vibrates your water molecules. And what this does, there's a guy who did some testing on the Relax Sauna and to Amazon saunas and published it on reddit.com in 2017. He was looking at all the research on the far infrared saunas online and said, wow, they raise heart rate variability, they do all this stuff. This is fantastic. Wow, there's a $250 sauna on Amazon. If that can do that, along with cold showers, man, I'm going to be in heaven. And so he got one. It only raised body temperature a half a degree. It had no effect on heart rate variability, no effect at all. So he was reading on the internet, and there's a $500 Amazon sauna reputed to be the best. He got that, got the same results. Then he got the Relax Sauna. Relax Sauna increased body temperature 3 degrees, not a half a degree. And the
Hmm.
heart rate variability results he got blew him away. It was significantly more than what all the research and all the great wood and infrared saunas could do.
Hmm.
We had a chiropractor who went into the Relax Sauna at a conference, and he had his Apple Watch on. He said, okay, my heart rate variability is 50. I got in the sauna, it went down to 30. When he got out, it went up to 136.
Hmm.
Within an instant, he gave us our credit card and got it. He said, I've never seen these kind of results. Now, we also sent the Relax Sauna. They bought one from us um, at Gaia, and he called me a month later or 3 weeks later, said the the research we've done on it is totally amazing. It blows us away. We've never seen a sauna that could do so much. We also had a man at a show we did for in Florida about 6 years ago. He had some kind of energy machine that measured the joules, and he's tested many products before and after. He said, I this is like 6 times the benefit that any other device I've ever measured has.
Hmm.
We were at a conference the other day. They were taking aura pictures, and they said the difference is remarkable. Every time they use the Relax Sauna, they go in. We do people who do microscopy. That's
Hmm.
where they look at the blood. And now many other companies have shown before and after great results with microscopy, but so does the Relax Sauna.
Hmm.
And there are we sent, like I was telling you about, the Harvard MIT report.
Right.
The $1,400 sauna was 20% more effective in terms of penetrate the intensity of the penetration, and the depth of the far infrared ray in the body. 20% more effective than the Amazon sauna. We were 450% more intense in our penetration and depth.
Mm.
And these are the kind of results we get. So, I guess there's sometimes you have another sauna that can increase the body temperature, but they're never able to increase the heart rate variability like the Relax Sauna can.
Mm.
And intuitively, I know that it took me a couple of years. When I first started selling the Relax Sauna, I thought we were a little bit better than the Amazon saunas, and I didn't think we were as good as the wooden saunas. And I'm selling it for 2, 3 years.
Sure.
But I was totally wrong on that, totally incorrect. I mean, we have many, like on the relaxsaunas.com/superior. You can lowercase, doesn't matter. Paula Schofield, who had a wooden sauna for many years, and it didn't take care of her mold toxicity, but the Relax Sauna did.
Mm.
Now, I have talked to people who the wooden saunas did take care of their mold toxicity, but now they're using the Relax Sauna because it is far more therapeutic. But it's hard for people to
Sure.
believe when you've spent $8,000 for a wooden infrared sauna that the $1,700 portable sauna that in the silver looks like a toaster oven cover, and it looks sort of funny with the head sticking out. But we really believe that the inventor of the Relax Sauna, Dr. Chang, and his team of scientists from Taiwan, who took 10 years to develop the technology, we believe they deserve the Nobel Prize for
Mm.
what they've been able to do to get the same frequency of water, and that's the key. Now, Hippocrates says, find me a way to create fever and sweat, and I will cure any disease, any
Hmm.
disease. That's profound. I mean, you mean all I got to do is create a fever, and the people here, they don't understand that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it goes back to healing from within, right? When the body knows what to do and how to take care of, any onslaught of pathogen or toxicity, then we take care of the things we need to take care of. The body knows how to heal itself. We just need to get out of the way sometimes.
Yes, right. The body, the innate. See, this is what the relaxed sauna does. Well, this is what creating a temperature does, and the relaxed sauna is more effective. But it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, like you were talking about, and gets you grounded, gets you connected, and then all the magic in life happens because your nervous caffeine mind is not getting in your way, and then true healing can take place.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
you deal with homeopathy, and
Yes,
homeopathy is vibrational.
exactly.
And that's like, you've heard of Rife machines, I'm sure.
Hmm.
If you have a disease like emphysema or arthritis or cancer or any kind of disease, there's a certain frequency that disease has, and if you could do that same frequency, it'll obliterate the disease. So it's all about frequency. That's what Edison talked about. That's what Tesla talked about. It's all about vibration, frequency, and light energy, invisible and visible light. Color therapy is a legitimate. I've been selling color therapy glasses for 40, 50 years. And but the invisible light, the far infrared light, that's the magical frequency that comes from the sun, that goes through the sand 2 inches and resonates with the water in turtle eggs and activates the turtle embryo to grow into a turtle, because the temperature in the turtle egg is increased. Now we all know that chickens cheat, they lay on the eggs
Yeah,
instead of having the wisdom to rely on the sun. But if they did that, there'd be a problem because predators would get it. See?
sure.
So every species has its own, technique for survival. But the turtles are really smart because they rely on the sun. And of course, there's a book called Fourth Phase of Water by Dr. Gerald Pollack, and he says that the far infrared light is what makes uh, creates more easy zone water. It's water that's a gel-like substance between water and ice.
Hmm.
That's the fourth phase of water, where it's pure. There can be nothing else in it, and it's calls it exclusion zone, or easy water.
Hmm.
And so the far infrared light creates more of that. He accidentally, like all light does that, but it creates more of it. And he says that that this light gives the plant the power to move and to bend, because it pulsates the water molecules. So it's all about the water. It's all about the water.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a fan of Dr. Masaru Emoto's work for a very
Yes.
long time, and something that really resonates with me, obviously. I mean, I'm a homeopath, so I utilize energetic medicine that we create in water. So, all of these things I think are very interconnected, and I think you're spot on. So, we have reached the end of this episode where I ask every single one of our guests our 8 rapid fire questions. These questions are designed to give us a little bit more insight into who you are and what makes you tick. So, number one, if you could choose only one natural remedy for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay, but before I answer this, and I will in about 30 seconds, if they go to the website relaxsaunas.com and they want to order a sauna, if they use the code Heartwing, okay, everyone knows
Yep.
Heartwing, they'll get $150 off the sauna until Sunday, July 13th. And then after that, it'll be $100 off for the rest of eternity, or something like that. Okay, so now I can answer your question.
Absolutely.
Probably MMS.
And tell us a little bit more about MMS
So
and why you choose it.
that's a high dose of chlorine dioxide.
Hmm.
Now, of course, the Relax Sauna is a light nutrient. It's not a supplement. So the Relax Sauna I use every day. The MMS, I've been using chlorine dioxide
Hmm.
in its many forms since '88, and then
Hmm.
MMS came out. But that's like very, very powerful to oxidize the body, and it's like anytime, that's my ace in the hole. The Master Cleanser diet was another thing that it used to be, is still one of the lemonade diet, the lemonade cayenne
Hmm.
pepper maple syrup.
Maple syrup. Yep.
And that for 14 days at a time. But I got at a hotel, I got some bed bites on my foot and it wouldn't heal. And the MMS took care of it. Uh,
Awesome.
yeah. So it'd be the MMS, yes.
All right. Number two, tell us something most people don't know about you.
Okay, I had a life reading, an Akashic, or anyway, a reading in 1984, and the lady who's giving me the reading backed up and said, "Oh my gosh, you're a sage masquerading as a merchant." So, I've been blessed, thrice blessed, 100 times blessed to have all these wonderful spiritual experiences where I've been able to tune in. And John Nash in his book, I mean in the movie The Beautiful Mind, he wanted
Hmm.
one original thought. God, I've been blessed to have hundreds of original thoughts that blow me away. And I'm putting this in my book, which is coming out in August. It's called Pictures of the Mind: Freeing Yourself from Beliefs That No Longer Serve You. and I've had so many insights. I'm overwhelmed and grateful.
Amazing. All right, number three. If I were to compile a playlist of happy music, what song would you suggest be added?
Row, row, row your boat.
Well, that's a first. Okay, I need to know why.
Well, it's a prescription for life.
Mm.
You row your own boat. You don't row someone else's boat. You mind your own business. Okay. Gently down the stream. You want to be gentle in everything you want to do. You want to be kind.
Yeah.
You want to plug into inner guidance and
Hmm.
have absolute reliance on inner guidance. And so you want to flow with the rhythms, the cosmic rhythms. You want to learn how to ride that like a surfer rides waves. And then
Nice.
the third phrase, merrily, 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 man, if you're doing something, you better be happy. It makes no sense not to be. And then the punchline is life was but a dream. The cast party is a hell of a lot more fun
Yeah.
than all this melodrama going down around here. And life is just like in Groundhog Day. It's just one experience, then another experience, and that's all life is. And it's all temporary. All things must pass, and don't get hung up with little issues. And if you do, like everything that we don't embrace in life is a PTSD from a scale from 1 to 100. And a massage therapist, you have an issue in your tissue. And if you can locate that issue, it'll be a picture that you haven't embraced. Once you embrace the picture, like in the rock opera by the Who, Tommy, it's and then the pain goes away.
Hmm.
It goes
Hmm.
away if you embrace an issue that's now settled in your body. It all happens mentally, emotionally, and then physically.
Absolutely. I love that. All right, number four. What is your favorite guilty pleasure?
My favorite guilty pleasure. Um, well, I didn't do chocolate for 32 years. And then all of a sudden, I wouldn't even allow it to be sold in my health food store since I've had it for 45 years. I said no, I want it, and anyone who was doing chocolate that wasn't allowed. And so anyway, I like chocolate,
Uh-huh.
and you know, I learned that everything that I was against, like if I was against it, I that energy sort of forced me into, or not, or guided me into doing everything that I was against, so I wouldn't be against it. So,
Hmm.
and if you feel guilty about doing something, you sentence yourself to do it again until you do it with joy.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in guilt.
All right. What is the most influential book you've ever read?
The Tiger's Fang by Paul Twitchell. It's the journey he takes into the center of creation. He goes to different dimensions, like the astral plane, the causal plane, the mental plane, and then to the soul plane, and goes about 6 layers deep until he gets to the heart of creation, or the divine, or God. And I read that book in 1972, I guess in July of 72. And it's like I can still remember all the visuals I got from reading that book now. I mean, it was profound. There is no book in the world that has been more of an inspiration to me than that book.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it's only $15.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out. All right. What does the word revolution mean to you?
Well, a revolution is something which happens within yourself, where you uncover all the things that you've believed, and you just, once you see them for what they are, as false beliefs, because no belief is a true belief, and you get them all out, you totally revolutionize your whole life, and you become freer and freer and freer. You're on, and you learn to connect with that inner guidance, and you continue, and it never ends, and that's a good thing, because there's no goal. So that means the only sucre is being in the present moment, where
Mhm.
you're connected with the divine.
And what does the word remedy mean to you?
Remedy, that's a great word. um, It's a solution. It's a solution. And Paul Twitchell said in one of his books, there's no such thing as a problem. It's a creation of the mind. When the mind is perplexed, there's only situations. And when we find a situation perplexing, we call it a problem. But on the other side of the coin is a solution.
Mhm.
Just like freedom and responsibility are intertwined, they're different sides of the same coin. Is you cannot be free unless you're responsible, and you cannot be responsible unless you're free. As a matter of fact, if you think you're free and you're not responsible, you're fooling yourself. And if you think you're responsible and you're not free, you are lying to yourself.
Absolutely. Lastly, if you could impart one piece of wisdom onto our listeners, what would that be?
Learn to develop absolute inner guidance, absolute reliance on inner guidance. And there is no time and space. There is no time and space. It's just a mock-up. Everything is just an experience. And the more we learn to embrace it, see, the worst thing in the world that we could do is to judge something. And judging something, there is an antidote to judging, and it's called observe. And observe comes from the word serve. So when you're observing, you're really serving the divine. And if you look at a sunset, and most time we just say, "Oh my gosh, it's beautiful." But if you anyway, if you say, "I think the orange should go where the purple is," that's called a judgment.
Yeah.
And I finally discovered a couple months ago there's a dark lining and a judgment that you don't find in an observation, and that's a complaint. So
Mm,
every time you find yourself judging, if you turn the switch off to observe, and I was doing this at the airport, I made 20 judgments in 1 second. I said, "Oh my God," I switched into observe mode, and I had a great time for the next 10 minutes. And so if you could go one day without judging, you would be spiritually free.
I think that's so poignant because I don't know if it's what brand of teas they are, but they have little quotes on them. And there's one that says, "A weed is just a flower with a judgment." And I think that that is so important that we really think about reframing how we think of everything and understanding that, you know, all of these things, our perception of our reality can be completely turned if we just release and let go of any kind of judgmental thoughts that we're having and let each of these things be as they are and let ourselves be as we are. And I think ultimately that's how we accomplish ultimate freedom.
I was meditating in 1997, and they told me, or they said, momentum. And I said, okay, because of what happened before, I realized that was the name of my new health food store company. And so and then as soon as I questioned momentum, what a mundane word, they said taking advantage of the moment. I said, okay, and I accepted it because momentum comes from the word moment. I hadn't realized that.
Right.
And so I'm visually in my stationery, and I'm saying, okay, there's something missing. Like the 81-year-old lady in the Wendy's commercial said, "Where's the beef?" And so I said, "There's got to be something more." And they said, "Propelling yourself into greatness." I said, "Wow." And then my third eye closed, and there I was. But taking advantage of the moment means you're living in the moment and you're listening. And when you're listening, when you're tuned in, you got your antenna up, you're vigilant. Then when that new wave comes by, which is your freedom, and you get in front of that wave because you're listening, it propels you into greatness. And all this is learning to live in the present moment. And the antidote of judging being observed. At any time, you can turn the light switch of judging off and turn the observe switch on. And there's a book called Practicing the Presence of God by Brother Lawrence, 80 pages. And yet the phrase momentum, taking advantage of the moment, propelling yourself into greatness. That's again the importance of getting into the moment. At any moment, you can stop and sit and listen. Like I do, as I can just push my tummy out and refuse to breathe, and then it becomes a breath surrender instead of a breath control.
Mm.
And chanting certain words like Q or Om or love, that can help you center and get connected. to the now, to the is, to the divine, and those are all super super important of because when you're in the present moment, that's when the caffeine nervous mind can't interfere with you, and that's why in the dream state we get super all the healing when we're sleeping gets done because we're not getting in our own way. And
Absolutely.
and I've embraced holistic health and homeopathy. I was selling the Bach flower remedies and promoting homeopathy since the 80s when I opened up my health food store. And so, you're totally in line with everything that I've been doing for 55 years now. So it's more than a pleasure, having this conversation with you.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Phil, for sharing your wisdom. I really appreciated it very much. And I'm happy to carry the torch here for homeopathy and for all things holistic, including meditation, which, by the way, I mentioned to Phil that this is something that I love to do is to meditate in my sauna because to me, I'm fully present. So there's nowhere for me to go. There's nothing for me to do other than, just be. And to meditate in the sauna, in my opinion, is a very liberating experience. It's very helpful to um, get you to that place of a meditative state. So if you're considering getting a sauna, please visit relaxsaunas.com. You can use the code HEARTWING for $150 off through July 13th and $100 off beyond July 13th. So take advantage of that special offer. Phil, thank you so much for being here. It has truly been my pleasure. And I thank everybody for listening. I hope you enjoyed this one.
Thank you so much, Erin. Yeah.
With hope as a guiding light, through darkest days we'll fight the night. With a whole lot of passion, with a whole lot of truth, Remedy Revolution is here for you.